All right, I'm gonna be explaining what I have here in advanced sauce right here and what the time-based liquidity actually means. So hopefully you read this. Like I said, X is just a filler number for everything ahead of these. Like none of the numbers ahead are relevant. You only need to focus on the last digit. Okay, and I'm saying here like the most prominent highs they form right here. So that could be 9 o'clock, 9:01, 9:05, or 9:06, or 9:51, 9:55, 9:56, or 9:44, or I mean 9:45, 9:46, so on. Only thing that matters is the last digit, okay? And hopefully y'all just read all this. And whenever there's two X's, that just means like 10, right? So, or 11 or 12. All right, I don't want to make this too long. But I'm going to be explaining how I was able to catch short and then this buy that I was in that ultimately just kept running. And I'm going to show you why it happened. All right. So first off, let me show you the basis of this stuff, man. How this was all able to even happen. All right. All right. So like I said, it is very important that y'all start using OTE and ranges, okay? So let's get the fib out. This is a range right here from this high to this low. That's the range. And this is called right here a quadrant fib, okay? This is the range. Another range that we have, the most recent range is boom, we made this high, made this low. This is the most recent range that we're in. That doesn't mean that this isn't valid. This just is the most recent range that we're in. So this is what I did. I got the most recent range that we created. All right. So going into this trade, what am I looking at, right? I'm seeing we're touching 0.75, right? These are quadrants. This is just as important as CE, right? We're touching this. We're inside of, let me actually show you. Um, I don't know what. This is an implied order block right here, but this is not what I had marked at. Or that is, but this is an implied fair value gap. Whenever the bodies or whenever the wicks are overlapping, but there's no bodies. So that makes this okay. This is an implied fair value gap. And I believe this one was, I'm not sure what I had marked out here. But that's an implied fair value gap. We're tapping 75% of the range, correct? Now let's look at what ES is doing. Okay, boom. We created an SMT at the highs, correct? So, boom, I got an entry, shorted. It filled me in somewhere around here. Once we created that SMT, while tapping the implied fair value gap and 75% of the range, short here. And what was I targeting? The devil's mark. So again, whenever this 1 hour this 1 hour candle was forming, there was no wick to the downside. I forget the exact stat, but it's around like 87 to 90 something percent of candles. They form two candles or two wicks. So with all this in mind, we have SMT at the highs, tapping 75% of the range. I'm okay to short here and risk 5 points, right? And I was making the video somewhere around here explaining the position. It was going to drawdown. Boom. Reaction down. Now I'm going to show y'all when I actually moved to break even. TP1 was hit and TP2. But this was whenever I moved to break even. Now we're getting into the time-based liquidity. Okay, this is important. Like, you actually gotta listen. Look what time this high was made. This prominent high, right? 31, 12:31. Okay, let's look back and see what I said. What are the key times? X0, X1, X5, and X6. In this case, it would be XX because it's 12. So this is time-based liquidity. After we sweep this high, I'm going to break even because we're sweeping this high, having a reaction down. I don't want price to come back up. And we also left this time liquidity right here. 12:41. Boom, we left a high. So if we came back up, it's okay if we come and we sweep this, but I'm not risking anything. I'm putting my stops at break even. And the reason this is so crucial that I wanted this swept and not this one, this was accumulation highs as well. So not only this being time-based liquidity, this was accumulation highs. So if I was gonna get a reaction, I'd prefer it would be from right here after sweeping this. Stops at break even. And what was I targeting? The devil's mark right here. To go and form the wick. And like I said, the candle never formed that wick down. But even whenever the new candle opens, for example, the new 1 hour candle, this is still the target. And you'll see that. So now from here, once I start getting this reaction, any retracement up is a false move. It's inducement. The new 1 hour candle opens here. You see how we still come down here though? This is still the target. Right here. 12. New 1 hour candle open, devil's mark. That was why this was my target right here. And you can see that beautiful delivery right there. Okay. And now I'm about to get into the other trade, and I'm going to get into CFD SMTs. Okay. I'm going to pause this video right here, though.